I love to make jewelry. Jewelry for women, jewelry for men, jewelry for teens, and even jewelry for dolls. The techniques I use to make jewelry for you and me are the same techniques I use to make doll jewelry, just on a smaller scale. Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo. Today's video is a collaboration with Peacecraft Dolls, and the word of the month is family. So today it's all about my sisters and me because we are family. We grew up in the state of Florida. It was exactly 54 years ago we moved from Huntsville, Alabama. It was during the height of the space program, August 1967. I was just turning 8. Tammy was 4. She's actually of Peacecraft Dolls. And then our baby sister was just 3 months old. Our family was very close. Our extended family lived in Colorado, and we did take our once-a-year trip there. That's where Mom and Dad grew up. But locally in Florida, there was quite a bit to do. There was always going to the beach. Rocket launches were on the menu. We had an above-the-ground pool in the backyard, and a lot of our friends and neighborhood kids were always over, and my dad loved to barbecue. It was a very simple life. Florida of today is a much different place. Moving from Huntsville to Florida, well, it was a little bit of a culture shock. You see, in Huntsville, we had all these nice brick homes, but when we got down to Florida, I remember driving around and seeing all these brightly painted cinder block homes in areas called subdivisions, which was a pretty new concept at the time. One other thing that was a little bit of a culture shock was the drinking water. It was horrible tasting. And we had brought a jug of water from Alabama, and I remember my daddy saying to us, "Ladies, once that's gone, you're going to have to drink the water." And you know what? We lived to tell the story, so even though that water was so nasty tasting, it didn't kill us or give us any bad health issues. We witness history in the making on a daily basis. I was too young to appreciate this, but looking back, I remember a lot, and I do appreciate it now. It was July 16th, 1969. I was almost 10 years old, and our dad, who was a NASA engineer, worked on most all the Apollo launches. He was able to get us front row tickets to the Apollo 11 launch, which took the first man to walk on the moon. Melissa was my best friend. My mom, along with her parents and Tammy, hopped into the front of their pickup truck. Melissa and I were in the back, and we headed to the launch site. In the book, Florida, the Popular Imagination, which is full of essays of cultural landscape of the Sunshine State, my sister quotes my dad. On page 165, my dad describes this as a strange feeling, similar to a carnival. There were picnics, lawn chairs. It was like a massive party as everyone lined the causeway waiting for the event. At about 1:30 p.m., Apollo 11 took off for the moon. Everyone fell silent as we took it all in. We hung out for a little bit longer. We finished up our lunch and just mingled. Soon we loaded up the truck and headed back home. We were all amazed at what we had just witnessed. Not to mention we were pretty sunburned too. I hope you enjoyed my story, but I'm going to actually show you how to make something here in a little bit. But I want to introduce you to my dolls. So this one right here is my newest doll, and it's supposed to represent me. This is mini me when I was a little girl. And then my sister Tammy of Peacecraft Dolls. This is representing her. She always had gorgeous hair. We always said, you know, she needs to do a shampoo commercial. So I thought this doll here, Coco, is a perfect representation of her. By the way, I did finally name this one Sunshine. And then this little one represents our baby sister, Tracy. Of course, she's not a baby anymore. But she's got a little bit darker hair than our sister does. Tracy's hair is darker than ours, but not quite this dark. So one of these days, I will be looking for a doll to represent my sister. But in the meantime, I want you to stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to wrap a seashell that you can either hang as a hairpiece, as an ornament, or you could put it on a chain to wear as a necklace. So this is what it looks like on a necklace. And you'll notice with this particular one, I used a copper wire, but I hung it on a sterling silver chain. I actually like to mix my metals in a lot of my jewelry, and I think this works really well. A lot of shells come with holes already in them, and so that makes it a lot easier to wrap. Some don't, and you have to wrap them this way, but we're not going to do this today. This will be another video. This one is a lot harder. The one I'm getting ready to show you is a lot easier. So I have these two shells. I'm not for sure which one I'm going to wrap. I could use silver. I could use gold. I don't think either one of these, they don't float my boat too much. I could use brass or I could use copper. I actually think I like the copper the best. Brass looks good too. What to do? So I think I've decided to do the antique brass, and I probably need, I'm going to get about 8 inches. This is not necessarily rocket science. Sorry about that. But I got about 8 inches of wire here, and I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to thread it through the hole. All right. I tell you, my eyes, I still haven't gotten my new glasses yet. Anyway, so you thread it through the hole like that. So the next thing you do is you're going to cross these wires, and you're just going to start twisting all the way up. And it does not necessarily need to be neat. If it's messy, that's fine. Because when you wrap it down and make the bail, you're really not going to see how messy or neat you did this part. But you do need to join these, just twisting them to make them as one piece. Okay, so we have that. The next thing you want to do is get your round nose pliers, or I like to actually use these, and I'm going to do the skinnier one. So you just clip it, and then you take this wire and you wrap it around, and you're just going to wrap it around and around and around. And I like to do these messy because it looks more organic. And you just wrap around until you get to a stopping point, which I'm right there. And then I'm going to tuck these guys in by using flat nose pliers. You could use bent nose, whatever works for you. But you do want to make sure that you tuck the wires in and make sure it's not scratchy. Let me get this one in, and then I'll make sure we have them all tucked in nice and neat, and they're not poking out to scratch the neck of whoever is wearing them. Okay, I don't feel anything. And then now you're going to want to make sure this bail is where you want it. So carefully just kind of move it around. You want it to be facing this direction, so when you put it on your chain, it's not sideways. For instance, let me show you here. See, it's kind of hanging wonky, so I need to twist that a little bit more. Okay, I twisted it some more. Let's see if it's going to hang. It should hang right, but sometimes you just have to keep playing with it. Yes, it is hanging perfectly. And that is how you wrap a shell with an existing hole to make a piece of jewelry. And if you wanted to have a smaller one, this one may be a little too big, to use as a clip, I just took a hair pin and just put it through there and just put it into the hair. And this is what it looks like on. Again, I paired it with a sterling silver chain, and I think the brass looks really nice with it. So the next time you head to the beach, look for some shells with holes in them, come home, wire them, and you have yourself a pretty neat souvenir. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video and me reminiscing about my childhood and the space program and growing up in Florida. If you did, let me know what you think. Also, go check out all the other individuals who are participating in this challenge. All the links are down at the bottom. There are some very creative individuals. Anyway, I hope you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Mostly though, I hope y'all have a fantastically wonderful day. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo signing out for now. Bye-bye.